Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial of Canvas for all the virtual students. I want you guys to understand that the learning process is paramount. That if you're going to do the assessment and evaluation, testing, and turning in part, you need to learn something first. As we begin our journey through Canvas, one of the most common questions that I'm getting is, how do I do the assignment? I don't know what the assignment instructions are. I don't know how to find that information. How do you expect me to learn this? And what I keep finding out is that's a student who's only operating from calendar, assignment due dates, and assignment mode. If you want to be successful, you need to use the support materials that we're providing, and the only way to find those is in module mode. The way that Canvas is set up in module mode is your learning guide, and all your supports, videos, class notes, all those sorts of things will be found in module mode. If you're using assignment mode or your assignment calendar to organize your due dates, that's awesome. But don't forget about module mode. Module mode is the single most important way to access your class because it's a window into the learning process. So I'm going to go into my anatomy and physiology class because it's a good example of the module mode. And right now you can see that I have two modules, Introduction to Anatomy and Histology. The rest is still in the works. I'm going to go to Histology and show you that at first it looks like a pretty long drawn out thing, but I have a crash course video. That's a YouTube video. And if I click on that, you can see that there's tissues, part one, the fabric of your body. If I go back home, you can also see that there is a second video and a third video and a fourth video, and then a PowerPoint. And that's going to take a little while to load. And you can access this PowerPoint much like class notes. It's got pictures, diagrams, and explanations on histology, the study of tissues. Tissues, cells work together in functionally related groups called tissues. Types of tissues are epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. And then we get into our epithelial and et cetera, et cetera. The learning journey begins. You can then look at the next part, and that is, Histology Notes. New, improved, and still adding. And this is the class notes portion. So you'll notice that the histology topic is identified and defined, and then we break it down a bit. And then we get into types of tissues and everything's sort of simplified. So a really valuable set of class notes. Let's go back home again. We're going through this as a table of contents and a learning guide. The next thing, and wow, we finally have something that's actually worth some points. That's worth 50 points. And it's going to be really important that you pay attention to this, right? We're going to look at that and say, for this assignment, you're going to choose 7 different tissues. 2 must be epithelial, 2 must be connective, 1 must be muscle, 1 must be nervous, and then a free space. For each tissue, you have to do the following. Well, wait a minute. If you're a virtual student and you don't have a microscope and you don't have access to my slides, well, how am I ever going to do this project? Well, turns out I've given you the slides. And so if you go back to module mode and look, there they all are. Indented below the histology project are 23 different slides. Let's look at elastic cartilage because that one's really cool. I clicked on elastic cartilage, and here is the histological stain slide of elastic cartilage. You can see the cells, the little vessels the cells are in, the little fibers that those cells have secreted. This is elastic cartilage. So between the reading of the notes, the PowerPoint presentation, watching the videos, and then reading the expectations for the assignment and using the slides, you are now learning histology. Use module mode and begin your learning journey in a sort of constructive, in the mind of the teacher, in the mind of the student way. Remember, when you're learning, you're playing for keeps. You're not just trying to get a bunch of stuff done, jump through a bunch of hoops, and get a grade in a book. What you're really trying to do is learn something, learn it well, and keep it forever.